There are some accusations that the very moment they're made, they change someone's life forever. Today, we resolved a case that was like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. There's accusations you read about or you hear about, or if you're in criminal court, you might see the charge that your client is faced with or a potential client is faced with. And as soon as you read it, you're like, oh man, this is a heavy one. This is a very serious allegation. And these are the kind of crimes that people hear about and they immediately assume someone's guilty. That's why jury selection in these kind of cases is so difficult. They're very emotional cases. But as I remind you guys, as I know many of y'all know, just because someone makes an accusation does not mean it's true. Just because the police investigate and arrest somebody or detectives think they have enough to charge somebody with a crime, that doesn't mean they're always locking up a bad guy. It just means they think they have enough with the standard of probable cause to arrest to slap cuffs on somebody. That's not the end of the story. And it's by no means that someone is guilty. But in the court of public opinion, a lot of times they are guilty. All this is to say, today we had a client that's been sitting in jail because he was adamant that he didn't do what he was accused of doing. He believed in us, we believed in him, and we pushed it to trial, spoke to prosecutors. The prosecutors got changed 2 or 3 times on the case, and each time we looked at it not as client sat in jail the whole time, so he was not happy, but each prosecutor that changed was a new opportunity for us to try to make our case again and convince them that, hey, this is not what it seems. We got experts in the case. We worked it up. We poured over the transcripts. Kudos to Stephanie Pimentel and Aurelius in our Woodlands office for working nonstop on this case to point out to the district attorneys, 3 different sets of district attorneys, the weaknesses in the case. Today, we were able to join a Zoom call with our client and with his whole family and tell him the news. Stephanie asked him, what's the greatest news we could share with you right now? And he said that the case is dismissed. And I guess he saw from the way we were reacting, we couldn't hold back our smiles. He knew that that's what we were there to tell him. And he was just in shock. The family was in shock. Aside from hearing a not guilty verdict read in a courtroom, this is a thing I'll never forget, to be able to tell a family that's been suffering and worried and anxious and fearful of their loved one and fully aware of the consequences of this kind of charge too, and what it does to your future and to your, not just whether you might go to prison, but the accusation itself is so emotionally charged. Losing friends, losing family, work colleagues are turning on you because the accusation alone is so heinous. They know what he's been through, and seeing the relief flood over this family's face and over our client's face, it took a few moments to process it, but delivering this kind of news to a client who's worthy of it, who we believe in, that the system worked. So kudos to the prosecutor for doing it right. As we prepared for trial, they looked at the case over and over again and said, you know what, we're not going to put this in front of a jury. It's too weak of a case. The wrong call would send someone to prison for years, closer to decades probably, and they didn't want to do that. They didn't want that on their conscience. They agreed to dismiss the case, and thank God our client's happy. He's going to be out as soon as the judge signs the dismissal order. So we'll keep you guys tuned in to the next steps, but very happy to announce this news.